how's it going? I hope you guys are doing well. For those who don't know me, I am Yoko. I'm a Japanese living in Japan, and today I'm here to talk about what I think of Mr. Trump's locker room comments from 11 years ago. Just so you know though, the media here is talking about it a little bit too. So I've been looking at the public opinion of the United States for a while now after the comment was released, and this case made me realize that in politics, it's very important that you figure out who's pulling the strings from behind and is creating all the situations that we are in. The effective way to see the big picture is to figure out who gets the most benefits in each situation, even though you're usually supposed to carefully analyze the proof, or else you can end up being trapped in conspiracy theories and so on. But still, it doesn't change the fact that seeing the balance of power in politics is definitely one of the keys to read what's really going on. So what do I exactly mean by this? So in the US, I see that the presidential race is coming to its climax and American people now need to pick one of the two candidates, right? So let's remember that we're in this situation, right? And if Mr. Trump is recognized as a racist or bigot, which he kind of is thought as, Hillary Clinton gets known as an anti-discrimination person and as that she has common sense, even though she doesn't, that she can earn votes from immigrants and mixed people and just nice people in general, I suppose, that are easily deceived. Or if Mr. Trump gets known as a discriminated person against women and Hillary Clinton bashes him with that, whether or not it's true, not only Hillary can make herself seem like she's fighting for females and get female votes, she can also make people forget about all the awful past of Bill Clinton, her husband, you know, what he did to all those women. And also this way, Hillary can dodge the bullet on the fact that she didn't get divorced with Bill after everything, and she rather used the situation for herself, which means that Hillary took the advantage of the victimhood of those women, or herself maybe, a little bit, to boost herself to where she stands today, the candidate of President of the United States. She took the advantage of the unfortunate situation, and I won't say that it's all bad, because it does show that she's definitely determined and she knows how things work, so it's kind of like she's got some kind of ability. But I just think that American citizens need to be aware of this mind game that Hillary Clinton has been playing all these years. It's often pointed out in Japan as well, actually. Anybody who's interested in politics, or just anybody in general, knows about how Hillary Clinton succeeded as a politician. Some even point out that with what Bill Clinton has done, Hillary flipped the power balance of the couple of Bill and Hillary is now stronger than Bill. And that was pointed out in a liberal show on TV here, so it was interesting. But yeah, this is an election, guys. These are election campaigns that we are witnessing every day. All kinds of campaigns and political propaganda exist, and we need to be smarter than those who run these campaigns. I'm a Japanese in Japan, meaning that I'm not a US citizen. I live outside of the US, so I can tell you, the world is not interested in the paparazzi way of reports on private remarks. Well, you might not care about what the world thinks, but you should know that we all live in this international society, especially with our modern way of living. I can't speak for the entire world, but I think that instead of private issues, the world is interested in politics. You know, how the US politics will be with new president. Because that's what the rest of the world has to deal with, of course. But if I was to know something from the past, I would be rather interested in what Clintons have been doing all these years in politics. Because everybody in the United States at least has the right to know that. Because it's been directly influencing not just America, but the world, like people's lives. I understand that this is an election, but the more American people make a big deal out of this locker room talk, the less other countries will think good about America. I'm non-American, living outside of the US, so I know this. So since I was 15 years old, I've always had respect for America, for many reasons, but one of the things is that American citizens that are interested in politics enough to vote can discuss politics on a policy level, not on the personal level of preferences or of politicians or candidates like people here do in my country. To me, American people were looking, like adults or mature when it comes to politics, but now I am seeing that it's going a little childish, and it's sad to see, I must admit. Maybe I just didn't know, about American politics well before. I don't know. In other words, America has had what we Japanese haven't had in this post-war generation due to liberals and communists. Liberals and communists in my country bring down our political level and make things personal to stop us from deciding or changing important things in the national diet, to make us vulnerable as a nation. And simultaneously, they send a message to hypothetical enemies such as China, North Korea, or Russia, or some terrorist groups, showing hey, we are this bad, we can't control our nation, or, this side of our nation is very vulnerable, blah blah blah, that kind of things. And now I see some American people are going so low, so personal, and it's unbelievable, and it's very saddening because people keep bashing Mr. Trump, and in the meantime, I'm pretty sure that Russia and China are grinning, smiling so widely, just like they were doing during the World War II. So just like I said in the beginning of this video, what matters is who is pulling the strings, or who gets the benefits, right? So 70 years ago, Japan and the US fought because of stupid liberals, but the conflict was created by communists, and they were pulling the strings. Now, Mr. Trump is the only hope for America, who can protect the country or the world, and the liberals are bashing him to get him out of the race. So what happens then? What if they succeed with that strategy and Hillary wins? Hillary will go with Obama's policy, which has been destroying America and destroying the order of the world. And she will also go with a globalist agenda, and she will also collapse, and things will go chaotic, and China and Russia will come to you oh, hey, here comes our chance. I wouldn't necessarily think bad about Russia with President Putin, but they're smart. I wouldn't get my guard down either. As an outsider who is a fan of America, I think that the country needs to realize who you are making happy in this current situation. You have to make sure that you're not feeding your enemy even as a result, because that's what politics is. In politics, you have to calculate everything to way ahead. But the reality is, I keep seeing this locker room talk, and I'm talk about politics already. Guys, talk, get over it. You're choosing a president, not a saint. American people need to wake up and stop creating the news that hurts people's eyes even overseas, because we see America as a leader of the world even if you quit being the police of the world. It hurts me partially to say this because I want my country to be number one. I want my country to lead the world, to make this place a better place where everybody is happy and stuff. Our ancestors had a great vision. I vividly know it, I feel it, and I want to carry that on, but my country has a limit. And I see that. I can see that we can't do it, at least right now. Yeah, because we Japanese, true Japanese people have been losing the fight against communists and globalists more than the United States. And it angers me a lot too. So I was actually impressed by how Mr. Trump changed the subject after showing his apology at the beginning of the second debate, and I have to say that it was actually the moderator's job to do that. Those moderators sucked. Mr. Trump did what had to be done, which was an apology, and he moved on to the important things, because that's what people are there to listen to. Even ISIS is probably watching the debate just to gain the information of their enemy, and they're probably like, what the hell is this, It's so weird to imagine the picture of all enemies and alliances, paying attention to the United States presidential race and expecting what's important politically to come out, but all what the media and Hillary want to talk about is Mr. Trump's private talks. This is something that I've been saying for over a year now, but it's not Mr. Trump who is making America look bad. It's the liberals and non-political people of the United States who lack in media literacy or just primary media that are making America look bad. Like, they are the ones that are embarrassing America. You know what's interesting? Mr. Trump did apologize, but liberals or primary media won't stop bashing Mr. Trump over this. And they're like, oh, expect more to come. Why they do that? Because it's apparent that it's not about his remark from 11 years ago. It's about Mr. Trump in the race as a candidate that they want to get rid of. So I really hope people won't get distracted by such a campaign liberals or Hillary sides are running. They will do whatever it takes because their lives are on it. Hillary might have to go in jail, media might get screwed, and they earn less money. People will lose jobs probably. They're in this life and death situation where they have to protect themselves. Mr. Trump is that much of a threat to them. So he's doing a good job. On a side note, if you're curious about Japan, in my country, my type of people, like conservative people, we often say that you can't make it as a politician if you can't even attract women, supposing that you're a guy. Attractive people are attractive and they will attract people and get votes. I might get scolded to let this out to you. I hope that Japanese people don't understand English, but here in Japan, we're not surprised when famous married politicians here have multiple lovers. You know, sometimes media talk about it and we're like, yeah, so what, kind of thing. And those politicians with such past will live on as politicians as well. Politics is an interesting field, don't you think? Like, you should have somebody kind of greedy, strong, and proud who can fight against your enemies. Oh, in Japan, by the way, we often say that as well. Like, you know what Yakuza is? In my country, often politics is compared with the Yakuza world because it's pretty much the same, you know, how the power works. You just need the tactics and strong-minded people. You know, you don't have to agree with me. American people should have American standards and I will always respect that. But keep in mind that there are greedy, gangster type of nations in the world. My country hasn't reached that level, but our neighbor nations are. And so just don't go any further with your ridiculous political correctness that's against human nature. Stop feeding your enemies with that. I feel like criticizing the feminists too, like, you know, or females that are saying like, oh, I was sexually assaulted and Mr. Trump's comment is so bad, it hurts my feelings, blah blah blah. I want to criticize that too because I was sexually assaulted too, once in my life. And they are just being ridiculous, and if you care, I'll make a separate video. Oh, I didn't talk about this, but you know, Mr. Trump's comment was on groupie people that were coming to him just because he's famous, right? There are always that kind of people. I am kind of a star. I don't want to say it myself, but people call me that. Like, I'm a star in conservatives in Japan. That's what they say. And it's true, like, people were mean to me, but once I woke up, you know, to politics, people change their attitude and they come to you with all the things that they want to sell you and they want you to advertise and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's so annoying. And some people end up being groupie too and they don't even know your thoughts. It's so weird. But yeah, so they basically come to you to take the advantage of you. So if those people get taken the advantage of, I'm not gonna have sympathy. You know what I mean? Even though Mr. Trump apologized and it is thought to be something bad from the past, I don't really think that it was that bad. It's just guy talk and it's just, I'd rather took it like, of course he's gonna feel that way because he's actually bashing those groupie people, you know? I'm just hoping that this issue will just go away and, you know, the arguments will go back to the politics, you know, what we need. Anyways, wishing the best luck to Mr. Trump and his supporters. You know, you have to keep fighting even after the presidential election day. Your real war begins after the election. So I hope the American people, including liberals, will stay focused on what really matters. So I'm gonna end this video here. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Please take care and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!